until after the fight. And there, a straight right
here to fall down. So
he's
clearly
only been down once, you know, prior.
And I think the temple shot to the left head made.
I'll say this: here's the right hand by Wilder, who's been knocked out without much effort from Wilder. Malik's got among them. Gavrin's a legit win.
He is the mandatory challenger for the WBC heavyweight champion Berman Stavern.
And he extends the fifth longest knockout streak.
Making his return, getting busy. Taylor has really started. Good work by Adrian Broner. And the crowd here loving every second of it. 20 seconds left. Wow! How about that? Beautiful.
Those shots have anything on them. All they're meant to do is force Taylor to go defensive. Once he goes defensive, Broner sits on that last shot and it hurts him.
The upper of the moment in front of this very large crowd after he and Emmanuel. And yet again, we take a look at it when this fight would end. And Jacobs, again, here switched to lefty, then switched to righty. So he did show him different looks, and it was an issue for Jared Fletcher. And whether he was tiring or not tiring, it didn't matter because Daniel Jacobs got the job done in that round.
The Miracle Man, Daniel Jacobs, in his home.
Victoria contra Mauricio Herrero, una pelea que fue muy cerrada también. Vamos a ver cómo regresa después de esa pelea contra Mauricio Herrero.
Hasta el momento 28 victorias, tiene 16 knockouts, está invicto en este plano boxístico.
In this round, Guerrero would go down a couple of times. In this, when Lemieux has you on the ropes, he just cranks up those hooks to the body and the head. Sometimes he squares himself up and can be hit, but his attack is so relentless that you just can't keep him off you. And there is Guerrero taking a knee, and this is where the stoppage of this fight. The uppercut from Lemieux, yes, he's known as a left hook artist for the most part, but he's got some power in the right hand, both of his. But he's looking for anything that will land, and there's the beautiful uppercut on the inside. He is an exciting fighter to watch, a 25-year-old who knows how to get the job done and knows how to finish. And he basks in the glory of
Last round of the fight. And at this point, Spence was landing single shots, but everything landing. He gets his man in trouble. He backs him up. He backs him to the ropes. Now watch Bird come in, the referee. And you see Bird say, "Gotta show yourself something." And sure enough, Castro threw enough punches to extend the beating another minute or so. And this is the end of the fight in super slow-mo. Look at these shots. Oh, that left uppercut. Well, that was enough. Yeah, that was about as brutal a punch as Spence had landed the whole fight, and that convinced Bird finally to call it a day.
Kamagai coming off the second longest layoff of his career. But counter right uppercut by Kamagai. They're going tit for tat here in round 2. I know they don't exactly exist anymore, but this is a phone booth fight thus far. Plenty of fistic fireworks on display here in our main event. Oh, left hook just backed up Kamagai. They are fighting like the dentist and the carpenter, tooth and nail.
This is starting to have a fight of the year type of feel to it.
A good old-fashioned brawl to close out the evening here in Southern California. Very happy, but bruised and battered Robert the Ghost Guerrero.
Great. Saw his man was hurt, and there was no contest after that.
Yeah, Quinones took some huge shots here toward the end of round 7. And Charlie Fitch alone because Quinones catapulted into the ropes, and clearly the ropes kept him up. Watch how he runs into the ropes here. That could have been ruled a knockdown, and it would have been interesting to see if Fitch did rule a knockdown there, whether he would have allowed the fight to continue. But I think we all agree, Quinones looked like a beaten fighter.
Yeah, he did.
You see his balance. Look at his balance as he's shaking there. His feet are shaking. Well, Odom showed power in round 7, something he hasn't done throughout his career.
Great ability to finish. When he had his man hurt, it was over.
They hit that before he would score a knockdown later in the round. That was the big right hand. Now remember, Love had been buzzed by a right hand a couple of rounds earlier, but this one did much more damage. And then we will see where the knockdown occurs. Again, the straight right hand. And Love in all kinds of trouble here. He had been holding before this, but in this instance, could not avoid going down. And he did, in fact, go down. And then in an odd situation,
Devastating shot. There's the javelin. Arrows waiting for it. Terry would have been better off not throwing any punches. He would have lasted a lot longer in this fight, I'll tell you.
Take another look at the knockdown in extreme slow-mo.
And why did he get knocked out? Well, for one reason, Terry jabbed, and as he brought the jab back, he brought it down instead of bringing it back to where he threw it from.
To the body with the right hand. Counter left hook upstairs by Lopez, who gets tagged again with the left hand. Fireworks begin between Lopez and Vargas, with Lopez's back along the ropes.
Finally does.
Well, round 2 between Lopez, Ponce de Leon 2 is a candidate for round of the year. As Lopez and Vargas toe-to-toe, mano-a-mano, hitting each other with power. Final minute of the 3rd. Straight right by Vargas. And this crowd has erupted.
I don't think it's a great idea to change that he's the wider puncher. Vargas seems to keep punching inside. It worked against Ponce de Leon. Ponce de Leon punched